So let's find the trig limit here. Notice I wrote a couple of the things that you have to remember in the upper right hand corner, the little cheat sheet for you. So to do this limit, I can't just plug in 0 everywhere because it would be indeterminate, meaning 0 over 0. So what I can do instead, is rewrite this instead as the limit as x goes to 0 of sine squared x over x squared plus the limit as x goes to 0 of sine x cosine x minus 1 all over x squared. And I'm keeping a track of what's in the upper right hand corner here, just trying to figure out how I can use those things to simplify this. And I can see right away on this first one here, I can just rewrite this as the limit as x goes to 0 of sine x over x times sine x over x. And I could just break them both up, and then that whole thing would just equal 1, because each of those just equals 1. Or you could think of it as, that's the easiest way to think of it. And this other one's the tricky one here. So what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to pull out. So I can say the algebra of limits tells me that this would equal the limit as x goes to 0 of, I can break this up of, let me just do it one at a time, sine x over x times cosine x minus 1 over x. I can break it up like that, and then I can break each of these up. I'll just do it step by step. The algebra of limits tells me that that equals this. You could distribute a limit into a product, basically. Or, that's I think how you'd say that. Plus the limit as x goes to 0 sine x over x times, now I'm going to do a little trick here at the same time. This I'm going to rewrite as -1 times 1 minus cosine x over x. I just factored out a -1 up there so that it would be a little bit easier to see. Whoops, I forgot to write limit in front of that. Times the limit as x goes to 0 of that. Okay, now this thing equals 1. This thing equals 1, so this is just 1 plus this thing equals 1 times this thing, times -1 times this whole thing right here, or rather the limit of that thing is equal to 0 as per that second property up there. So this just equals 1 plus 0, which just equals 1. And that's how you would do that problem.